What do women want? A wise man once said, you can either love a woman, understand a woman, but you can't do both. I asked myself the question, man, what do women want? Now, the blue pill side of me, the former version of me, would have gave you a list of answers, man, like, she wants a guy that's gonna be loving and caring and take her out to eat, treat her to this, give her foot massages, send her flowers, yada yada yada, put her on a pedestal. Because that's what society taught us, man. That's what society taught the far majority of men. I mean, look at the TV shows, man, that's been running for the last 10, 12 years. But once I took the red pill, this quote, it fully made sense, man. You can either love a woman, understand a woman, but you can't do both. Now, let me tell you when I fully understood that I made the transition from the from the blue pill to the red pill. This is what the major difference was. I thought back, man, all the stuff, man, all the things that I've dealt with women back to middle school. There was some stuff in me, man, that I was I could think of stuff in 7th and 8th grade, man, that I dealing with women that just bother the hell out of me even today. But when I finally understood women, all that anger, man, it just went away. Because there was no reason for me to be mad or be angry or hate. It took all the emotion out of it, man, because I understood. I said, I understood why I went through the things I went through, man. So what do women want? You know what I'm saying? I remember, man, I got married. I'm talking about almost 20 years ago, 18, 20 years ago. I got married, man. High school sweetheart. Life was good, man. We moved out, started our new lives together. Got out of the military, moved back, started my career. One thing I remember, man, it seemed like every year and a half, I was buying a new wedding ring. Started off with a 1 carat. And next thing you know, it's a carat and a quarter princess cut. Next thing you know, it's a carat and a half, carat and 3/4. Just constant upgrade. Same thing with cars, man. It seems like every year and a half, 2 years tops, it was a new vehicle. Now, life was good during this time, man. I mean, I was at this time, man. Things were good, marriage was strong, healthy. So it wasn't like I was dealing with some crazy chick and I was just, spending all this money. Life was good. We were winning. The money was there. So it wasn't no big deal. But I noticed that there was just a lack of contentment on her side. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I remember, man. I was at a little small restaurant on the beach, man, this past weekend, man, out in Jacksonville. And I noticed something, man, that just blew my mind away. And it was so subtle. Man. So I'm sitting on a patio on the beach, man, just being inverted like I always do, man, to myself, sipping on some coffee. And I think I had a little breakfast or whatever I was doing that morning, man. But this is what I noticed. There were about 60 to 70 people out there, mostly couples. And I was parked right beside the valet, man. People were coming and going as they please. But this guy pulled up, man. This guy pulled up, and what I think was I think he had like a Ferrari 488 or something. It was a Ferrari. But this guy pulled up, and when I looked up, man, I saw something, man, that blew my mind away. Out of all these people, man, all these couples, just in a split second, I noticed women sitting up straight. And I noticed women, fixing their lipstick. A couple of them were, patting their hair and fixing the shirts. And it was so subtle, man, but, and I don't even think I would have noticed this if I wasn't sitting where I was sitting at, man. It was so subtle that the guys sitting with them, some of them boyfriends, I'm assuming, some of them husbands, they wouldn't have even noticed it. And I was just like, whoa, like what was that? Like, what was that major shift that just went through, man? For all these women to just sit up straight, get adjusted. And I was like, damn, like what is that? And it makes me think about just the nature of women, man. See, one thing that we do as men, we try to figure out women from a man's point of view. But what we dropped the ball for so many years, man, they're nothing like us. They're made nothing like us. You know, the way we love, women love completely different, man. It's in their DNA to be a certain way. And I know this because I've somewhat like re-engineered this whole thing, man. Like I said in my other video, you know, I've been in a long-term relationship. You know, I've been married for 10 years. And besides that, I grew up in a household, man, where my father was gone, and I had a mother and an older sister, man. And I just backtracked, you know, from today all the way back to square one, and there was just a common denominator between all of them. And that's when I realized, man, we're different, and we're looking at women different. So back to the quote, you can either love a woman, understand a woman, but you can't do both. That's true, man. That's true, man. The thing is, if you are one of the men that want to be in a relationship or marry a woman, it's important that you remove all emotion from the relationship to a point. And think like a man should think. For example, prime example. In a relationship, the man is supposed to be focused 100%. The man is supposed to be focused primarily, I'll say primarily, on his goals, his dreams. The moment you take your eyes off the prize and focus that attention on that woman, you've lost her. You've lost her. Now, I don't care what women say. I don't care what television or movies try to tell you. Women do not want a man that's focused on them. Women do not want a man that's needy of them. You know, you can believe what you want, guys, but as soon as you take your eyes off the prize, you've lost her, man. That's their nature, man. You know. And then you look at why women, you know, go to other men. You have to go back to the nature of a woman, man. A woman is consistently looking for the best provider. Now, I'm not saying that if you're with the woman and you're the provider and you're on your grind, you're going upward, I'm not saying that she's gonna jump ship. But when a woman gets with a man that flatlines, in other words, that man he becomes stagnant. At that point is when other men begin to catch her eye, man. You have to understand how they're made, man. They're made completely different than us. And it's not to I'm not saying men are better or worse. I'm just talking about the raw nature of women. Just like men we have our raw nature, man. You know, and this is not something that I'm just pulling out my ass, man. It's nature. Think about that. Think about that penguin video. That penguin video that went viral, a year ago. And I'll attach it. I'll try to remember to attach it in the description box. Even in nature, man, You can see where the male penguin was on his grind. He was out doing his hunting or whatever he was doing. He comes back, and there's another penguin in his spot. You know, women are all about upgrading everything. They're all about upgrading. So, you know, again, you know, if you know, and this is where the MGTOW man comes in. This is where the MGTOW man comes in. The MGTOW man is saying, you know what? He understands that nature. He is fully aware that this woman is on a constant upgrade, and he's just not. Like I said before, you know, we're just not subscribing to that, because this is the thing about a man. This is the thing I realized about myself, you know, in the last 6 months to a year. You know, I've always been one to stay on the grind. I like nice cars. I'm gonna have a nice car. I might have a nice bike. I might have a big ass truck, because I like those things. But when I really question myself, you know, when I was just straight honest with myself, you know, I was like, I don't need that shit. That's just bullshit. That's just shit that takes away from my wealth. You know, and I understood that. So as a MGTOW man, you know, we just don't deal with that. You know, men as a whole, in my mind, it is just my opinion, we're minimalist. You know, it's not the big fancy car, the big truck, the big bike, the big house that we have. Men, I think we're simple creatures. Food, water, shelter. You know, that's how we operate. Those things we get, that's for women, man. That we do that stuff for women primarily. You know. So to answer the question, what do women want? They want more. It's your boy Soul Immortal with Immortal Minds, and I'm out.